Here we go, it's time for full-time reaction to Cluj to Celtic now. We're just here in the studio tonight. Ryan joins me as usual. Ryan, I think we could have seen that one coming tonight.
Mile off, absolute mile off. When you rotate the squad like we did tonight and you make wholesale changes like we did tonight, it's always going to be difficult to try and get the link up that you're looking for, the flow, the intensity, and it was a game of nothing tonight, let's be honest about it. The group was won, we were into the last 32, it was just an outing for boys to get minutes in the legs tonight. First 30 minutes, I think we looked, can't even say promising, but we put more passes together, we just couldn't provide anything in the final third, and that's always going to happen. Like I said, you just can't get the link up because the boys aren't used to where each other are going to be, and they need that bit of time playing together to try and get that flow and the easy movement in at the final third. We didn't have that, and it just seemed like we made the change at half time, big ire come on, we come back out and we just let the game go for there. I think we just let the game go, we just let it slide, and for there on in it was nothing. We were just seeing the game out.
Aye, I think when you, obviously before the game everybody says it's a good opportunity for these players who haven't even been playing to try and stake a claim when they've been out with the team. But see, it's almost like, see when you played football, see when I played football, you'd sometimes play pre-season friendlies, and if he's had enough players you'd have 11 on in the first half and you'd change the full team at half time and then another 11 on in the second half. See if you're in the team in the second half, you're like, I'm well out of favour here, you're kind of arsed. And obviously that's totally different for professionals, right? But deep down most of these guys know they're not going to be involved. They're not going to be involved on Sunday, they're not going to be involved in the big games to come with an 18-year-old making his professional debut in midfield. Guys like Sinclair, who's been at the team for months, Griffiths, who can still play a big part, but he's been really struggling to get time and fitness. And we really lacked a cohesion going forward. We started with Mikey Johnson in the 10 position though, and I think if there was any bright spark we had tonight, it was him, particularly in the first half when he was in that 10 position before he got moved out wide.
I think that's the most promising thing that happened tonight, was Mikey Johnson get a start, because that's his first one for the layoff, and he's just so promising, he's so good to watch, and anything in that game that was good to watch was coming from Mikey Johnson. I just think that he's tantalising with the ball at his feet. I think he sucks players in and he leaves them for dead, and I think that even a couple of times tonight where the one that he had a shot and I think it made the wee deflection and Griffiths ended up over, I think it was maybe our one and only corner, but brilliant and so good to watch and so good to know that he's making his way back in towards the starting 11. And El Yunus, he's now got a fight in his hands because Mikey Johnson come back fit, and the promise that he shows, it is going to be a battle there for the left wing.
Another takeaway for tonight was Bolingoli back in the team at left back. How do you think he done? And one of the things I want you to let us know in the comments, by the way, do you think Bolingoli is still the #1 left back? Because when he went out the team, he'd been playing well, and we were saying when Taylor just started to come in, think it's Bolingoli's shot to lose. Is that still the case? Let us know what you think in the comments. How do you think he'd done the night?
I think it probably is still Bolingoli's to lose, because I think he's more athletic.
A few dodgy touches, isn't he?
He's bigger, but Bolingoli, when he first came into the team, was absolutely famous for the dodgy touches. And maybe it just takes him to find his feet and get a bit of confidence back with his play to start to flow a wee bit more, and there was still that. I think he is still the #1 for the left back spot. I think he's just bigger, there's more about him than what there is maybe about Greg Taylor, and I think that if he can get back into a flow and a bit of run of games, the bit where he went down and he was holding his calf and I was like, oh no, tell me no again, but if he can get a run in the team, I think that he is the out-and-out #1 left back for us at the moment.
Hayes has done well as well. Hayes has done a job for us when he's come in at left back as well, so I think there's competition, a lot of competition in that place. We know Hayes is maybe injured now, but plenty of competition for places. Griff back in the team as well tonight. We didn't really create a clear-cut chance for him. He was working off scraps, as we say. The team really lacked cohesion going forward in the final third. He didn't get that chance that he would have been hoping for. But what do you think about his attitude, how he looked in terms of trying to get back in the team?
I think he looked like the type of game that it was tonight. I think he looked like it was just a bit flat and just nothing really happening or coming off for him. And Griff's known to throw his hands up in the air and kind of have a bit of word back and forth with whoever he's kind of trying to play the ball in for him, and I think sometimes he just likes a wee bit sulky, but he did look like he was trying to put himself about today. And the 90th minute was the best break of the ball that he had, where it came through and he got the break and he was in behind. But again, Cluj were just sharper tonight. They were quicker at every ball and they wanted it more. They had to get something out of tonight.
Aye.
But Griffiths looked like he was trying to be sharp, like he was trying to get back into contention for the first team.
Aye, that's a big difference tonight. Cluj, who are I think better than some people give them credit for. They're wily, they're streetwise, strong team. They know what they're doing. They won all their home games. They beat Rennes home and away. And I think coming into the game tonight, you always knew that when we've got the reserves out basically, and Cluj need to get a result, they're playing their strongest team, it was always going to be difficult for us. We've seen Scott Sinclair back for a very, very rare start. He looked a wee bit to me, obviously I seen a couple of people were harsh on him the first half an hour, 40 minutes on Twitter. He hasn't played a lot of football. I don't think you can be too harsh on him, but it's got the feel that he's just punching the clock.
He is punching the clock. I think he's checking in and out when he's called on, because it's very rare, and you can't expect somebody who's clearly not going to be in contention. You spoke about it at the start there. Most of these players know they're not going to get a look in this season. They know it's done. They know that they're in there because the stage that we were at in the Europa group stage, and they knew that they were going to get minutes in the legs for if they were needed to be called upon. It's not because they're almost there with the first team. And Sinclair is the number one recipient of that fuel, because he knows that he's not going to get into Neil Lennon's team.
Aye.
He knows that he's never going to get a look in, and he knows that now he's counting down to leaving the club. It could be January, because he was almost out the door in the 11th hour as we closed the summer transfer window, and now we're looking at January transfer window opens. Is Sinclair just thinking that's how he might get away this time, or is he just going to see it out to the summertime?
We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see with that. Again, we went 4-4-2 towards the end of the game. Johnson went out to right hand side. Morgan came off. Bayo came on to go up alongside Griffiths. Again, didn't really happen for us. In the middle of midfield, it was a debut for Scott Robertson, as I mentioned before. How do you think he done? Obviously, it's extremely tough for him coming in and making his professional debut in a game like that intensity with a much changed team. But how do you think he looked in general?
Super impressed. See just with how he takes the ball in. His first touch is phenomenal. And if you think he's an 18-year-old guy, he's been at the club for 10 years, and this is him starting to knock on the door of the first team, and that's a massive positive for tonight. Massive positive for tonight is that you were bringing someone again through the youth team, another Mikey Johnson, Kieran Tierney, like that sort of thing, where we're starting to produce really good players, and it looked like he has the potential to be a really good player. But just his first touch, and I think he, by and large, he did really well tonight, given the game again, like you said. And I just feel like he's got something about him, and it's nice to see that coming into the team, and maybe he can see laterally in the season he might get a couple of run-outs as we kind of close the season off.
Hopefully. I think he looks a tidy player, absolutely. To round up, obviously the Europa League group then, remarkable.
Amazing.
Obviously, we know tonight was a dead rubber, but to win the group, absolutely phenomenal. We're in the last 32. Looking forward to draw on Monday. Absolutely
buzzing for the draw on Monday. To finish, I was saying to you tonight, to finish this group stage off with a game which is a non-entity tonight, practically a friendly, and last season praying to the last minute that Rosenborg does a turn to scrape through, worlds apart, and it's so nice to be in that position. It's nice to look forward to the draw, knowing that we're top of the group and seeded into the next draw. That is a nice place to be, and it's just exciting to see who's coming up next.
Absolutely. Can't wait for the draw. Hibs on Sunday, back to the bread and butter, massive game for us. Hibs a little bit resurgent under Jack Ross. You would expect all the big hitters back in the team.
100%. It's a massive month. We spoke about it before. December is the month where you can separate yourself from the pack, and you can really kick on for your season. So we have to make sure that the bulk of the players is fit. I spoke about it again after the cup final on Sunday, that we are now in a position where most of the first team players are coming back into contention, back to a vein of fitness. Now we need that vein of fitness to transform into a vein of form and kick on for December. So I expect the big hitters to be back on Sunday, and I expect us to do the business against Hibs.
Absolutely, that'll do us for tonight. We'll be back on Saturday with the starting 11 prediction for the Hibs game and all the normal content from Celtic Park and the post-match pint after the game. Like the video, comment with your own thoughts on the team below tonight. Who do you think will come in at left back? Do you think Bolingoli? It is still his shot. And how do you think the team will look come Sunday against Hibs? Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you on Saturday. Cheers.